companies led by HKV, and also in a partnership with TAMO, who are based in Nairobi. And the scoping study will assess the current landscape of early warning and impact-based forecast initiatives across Africa. Also, things like publications that exist, lessons learned from past initiatives, what is there, what is used, which systems, which tools, but also which training frameworks are existing, and most importantly, what are the gaps. Then later on, we will, based on the scoping study and a call for expression of interest, where we expect our partners that are interested in implementing SEWA together with us, will issue 4 grants on regional pilots on impact-based forecast services and tools. And those 4 pilots will be done together with the regional climate centers. And I will talk a bit more about the role of the regional climate centers in a second. And also we'll have later on a grant on training and capacity building, as well as a grant on digital tools, which will hopefully be issued later last year. But the first and the biggest chunk, biggest part of SEWA will be those 4 regional pilot projects in each of the regions. And so how do we do that? How do we connect the European and the African communities, and how we transfer the knowledge that's already existing? This is how we imagine to do that. So we want to build upon the regional climate centers. And ACMAD is one of the regional climate centers, although regional is in that sense a bit misleading because they have a continental role. Nevertheless, they will also act as a coordinator in Africa and bring together all the regional pilots. So in general, the role of the regional climate centers within SEWA is that they help define the needs and the user requirements. They are the prime focal points for the partnership at an African level, but they also engage with stakeholders and users in the regions, and including the regional specialized meteorological centers that are designated by WMO, as well as the regional climate centers. Most importantly, of course, they will advise and provide inputs on early warning. And this also includes like tools and services that are needed or that are used, because they have also a very good overview of what's already there. Of course, they bring the community together. They all have members and they regularly meet as well. So this is, they can do that much better as we could. They will also benefit from trainings and pass the knowledge on. Many of the RCCs already provide trainings. They will then also help to design the training materials, support training organization or host trainings, and also support the knowledge transfer and outreach. So how does it look like? And here's a nice overview that also emphasizes a bit the special role of ACMAD in that regard. We'll have those grants which will focus on each of the regions in sub-Saharan Africa, and there's 1 or 2 regional climate centers connected with it. So for the West is ACMAD, for the East is ICPAC, for Central Africa is CAPC, and for the South is SADC, as well as IOC, because the Indian Ocean islands are included in this grant in Southern Africa. And ACMAD has a role in all of those. They have a role to bring everything together, to also see what's going on in the region, and also to help implement SEWA on a broader scale in Africa. And there's also the link, of course, with us and with the African Union Commission, as well as UMETSAT and other partners like WMO or the JRC. And also ACMAD knows them all well and can help us to establish strong partnerships that last. And so the engagement of the RCCs will be through this call for grants. That means all the RCCs will have a dedicated role in the call for grants. If you apply for those grants, you would have to take the respective RCC on board, and at least for a minimum defined role. But RCCs could also be part of a consortium, and they can have more tasks than the minimum tasks that are that are in the grant. So this is also why we have this info sessions. This is one part of it. So we want to give them a stage to also present what they are doing, because most of the RCCs, they do much more than we all expect and that we all know. And today I'm really happy that ACMAD is with us, and I now hand the floor over to Godfrey, who will tell us a bit more about ACMAD.
Thank you, Caroline. Hello. Caroline,
Yes.
can you, don't know what's happened. I'm trying to share the screen, but doesn't allow me. Maybe you can.
Okay, you have the rights, but I think I can. You want me to share the slides?
Yes.
Okay, let me see.
I don't know what's happened. Doesn't allow. Or can you share the one I sent to you, please?
Yes, I have that. Let me just see how I want to. There it is, but I would like to put it in presentation mode.
Okay. Thank you.
Let me see. Wait, I share again in a second. I just wanted to make it a bit bigger. Now I got it. So let me see. Can you see it now?
Yeah, I can see it now.
Yes.
But not.
Yes,
Okay.
it's good.
But you can also see yourselves, right?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, wait.
It's good.
I shared the wrong. Now it should be better.
Yes, and I saw it.
Okay, perfect. So just tell me when to move forward.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Caroline. Good afternoon, all. My name is Godfrey Shimini, and I'm working at ACMAD, and I'm going to present on behalf of our ACMAD team what we are doing in terms. Next slide, please. And again, thank you for Caroline to give us some guidance to how we go. So then my presentation go talk about on a vision, institutional setup, and they give example from some products and the services, and also talking about what we are doing in terms of capacity building. And we conclude with some success stories and the lesson learned. Next, please. So this is the vision of ACMAD, is to be world-class and continental, and of contributing to prosperity Africa with well-resilient population to extreme event, and they empowered to the reduced weather and the climate related. In fact, this is the vision is really linked with the Africa Union Agenda 2063, what they call the Africa we want, and we have aligned this vision for these coming years with that one. And our mission, this mission is the one given during the creation of ACMAD. Next, please. So initially, ACMAD, just for brief information, it was created by UNECA in collaboration with the World Meteorological Organization. It was followed by during the drought which happened in the 70s and 80s. And since 1992, ACMAD it was established in Niger. And as I said, the core mission were given for that time were two, to be continental weather and a climate weather center for Africa. Similarly for what ECMWF is doing for Europe. And in this regard, ACMAD has so far go through the days, and then in 2015, it has become the first regional climate center with the mandate continental level given by WMO. That was after the 2 years of successful demonstration phase. And then in implementation of that first mission, ACMAD, since 2022, with the support of UNDRR, have established what we call the Continental Weather Watch Center, Continental Multi-Hazard Advisory Center, which was been inaugurated in November 2022. And this is to support the AMAWAS program. I will talk it later. And also, the second mission is to be institution of excellence for application of methodology. Here behind is just to ACMAD have to facilitate the technology transfer from the northern part with the northern where their technology, and they also facilitate to be domesticated in Africa. And in this regard, also ACMAD is part of the African Network of Excellence for DRR, which was being created by UNDRR and the African Union. Next slide, please. So, in those missions, our core activities, it's just first of all is to enhance the capability of national med services to understand, to anticipate, and manage the impact of weather for reduction properties. The second one is to considerate. This one also ACMAD has been participating in this like campaign of for monsoon, like what happened AMA, but also ACMAD is keen to facilitate exchange of information and expertise to strengthen sustainable institutional mechanism. And as well, and at the end, it's just to provide advance notice on the potential weather and the climate related for vulnerability reduction. Next slide. So in terms of the setup, is in our operational mode, ACMAD have these two encourage that the one as the World WMO designated regional climate center since 2015. And also, and that regards the ACMAD have been given this coordination function for other RCCs, and they also do support other RCCs in the demonstration phase. The second one is the Continental Multi-Hazard Advisory Center, which has been inaugurated in 2022, and they also support the African Union Multi-Hazard, the Early Warning, and the Early Action System. Next, please. So this is just show how we work with different RCCs. I put in a CRPC in red because the CRPC up to now there was no really a structure as our regional climate centers, because the CRPC was running through the project, but up to now there's still some challenge to really establish the organigram according of the status of the center. Next, please. ACMAD also have now actually it's the strategic plan for the next 3 years, and those are the 4 goals which lead us to from up to 2027, and they just say reduce capacity gap in meteorology and its application in Africa. That means within this SEWA project, we do hope that we can get more support from ECMWF so to reach that goal, and also to provide quality services at regional and the national level for early warning, climate change, and sustainable development, and facilitate better access to data, research, on African weather climate, and the fourth one is on governance and management. Next, please. So as SEWA is targeting for the early warning, we just wanted that this the fundamental scheme we know from foundational design and the event as ACMAD for our operational mode or activity or mandate activity or core activities. We found ourselves in the middle part, the design where we do hope we can play a key role in terms of the disaster risk knowledge detection, but also to generate some advisories as well, wanting to support the preparedness and the response. Next, please. So as the role of ACMAD, as I said, for AMEWAS, we are at the continental level, and we do support this AMEWAS disaster situation room based in Addis at the African Union. And we do also, in terms we are in operational, we are providing the information on extreme rainfall, high winds, and the cyclone tracks in using multimodal approach twice a week. And this one we are and the bulletin called the Continental Watch. We are producing this one Tuesday and Friday. And also we do collaborate with the African Union Situation Room and the ICPAC Situation Room to generate at the moment the situation reports. Even we have just issued one yesterday in collaboration with ICPAC about the landslide held on 1st November over southwestern Kenya. And also we also organize what we call the ad hoc briefings for anticipatory action. Next, please. So in terms of the product and the services, ACMAD, according to our mandate and activities, we mainly provide the services for three sectors, which are agriculture, health, and disaster risk reduction. And mainly for disaster risk reduction, we are contributing in the preparation and also to response. And we, ACMAD, provide climate service tailored for significant weather and climate phenomena related to potential and the response measurement. And this one, we are also working with other stakeholders to according to their needs. We'll talk it later. Next, please. So in terms of to do so, we have some kind of the ACMAD production process. We're starting by the RARS antenna. This is RARS antenna was established in 2022. In 2020, through the support of Sawidra project, which was we got a really support from EEC, EUMETSAT, and actually you see that before there was no RARS at the continent. At the end of the project, we come up with the 4 antenna covering the 4 regional of Africa, wind-based, the one in Southern Africa at Sansa, the one at ICPAC covering the Eastern Africa, another one in Gabon covering the Central Africa, and the last one is for West Africa based in Niamey. Next, please. We do also some analysis, statistics synoptical to see how many stations are transmitting the information to the global telecommunication system. And this one was done by monthly basis, and it showed the evidence for advocacy and the resource mobilization to improve the network of the station. And so you can see where there is the gap for in terms of the observation, but also where so to see the accessible the variation month by month. Next, please. So in terms of provision, we have since its creation, ACMAD provided the weather watch prediction and the climate information with different time scale from seasonal up to short range. And also we have produced some different products to support humanitarian and the civil protection. And also this work we are doing it through AMEWAS, it was coming to support this and for those products in terms for the early warning. Next, please. So how do we got those information? The ACMAD process adopted this cascading communication value chain that's coming from the global information, taking data from the satellite, data in city, process, and then generate up to the information. And they were our goal is just to that the information can finally reach the communities and the stakeholders in order to be prepared in such kind of extreme event. Next, please. So this is the methodology approach for seasonal forecasts. How we do this season forecast, accounting for climate variability and the persistence, canonical, and different tools, and then come up with the consensus products. Next, please. So for the short-term range, that's the approach we are doing. As I said before, we have adopted the approach for poor man ensemble, which is consistent for to use 6 model, which is our page from Meteo France, GFS, ECMWF, UK Met Office, the icon from the WD, ACMAD, CMC from Canadian. And then we do some processing and come up with different tools where we just looking for the model agreement and different processing, so to come up with the an ensemble product. And that's one also we take in consideration the weakness or the strength for each model. And then after that, we are also apply the expertise of the forecaster to decide where, and also apply the impact-based forecast. Next, please. So this is the come up with the methodology. We do just the theory and we have come up with for the short range to do day by day for the 5 days, and they do the combination for the 5 days. Why we do proceed? Because sometimes in Africa we may find that 2 days can have enhanced rainfall and they have high impact. Why, when you go to just take for the cumulative for 5 days, the signal disappeared. So we have to tell the people, to alert the people that in this day we may have extreme event, maybe, and so they can be prepared in advance. Next, please. So this, I just wanted to show how do we do the impact-based forecast in the AMEWAS framework. And this, we are using the impact-based forecast coming from the forecast threshold, and also we have done this classification of hazard, and come up with this is a question for relative impact. And this is, we are using the tools called MyDewetra with the Chima Foundation, which is the technical support for AMEWAS. And then we have come up with these 4 levels according to the population being affected, where the green is less than 500, and the 0.5, which is in medium, category 2, and up to category 4, where the affected population is more than 5%. And this, the algorithm is calculating at each pixel and then come up with the final results. Next, please. So as I said, in our provision of climate information, we are just in this 3 times just ready for seasonal forecast, set, medium range, and short. So, and at each this set for in terms of the early warning, we are dedicated the product, and those products have been modified according to the needs in interaction with the stakeholders. Next, please. So, as I said, we have adopted this seamless approach, focusing approach, where we have this seasonal focus. And what I would do like to inform you that this seasonal focus is one of the product what ACMAD set up with the CRIMSA project, what we called ACOF, Africa Continental Outlook Forum, where all regional climate centers are contributing to help to come up with the consensus products. And this one is overlay with the observed event and also the predicted event. On the mid-range forecast each year, just looking for the sub-seasonal forecast, which is week 1, week 2, and they go to the short range for the 5 days, which also is more likely with the some humanitarian and stakeholders very interested for this project. Next, please. So in terms also for the climate information, we have this African drought monitoring and advisories, where we have these 3 indicators come up with the combined drought indicators. And now this was only, now the system is on, and we are in the process now to integrate the drought forecast for the 6 months done. So we do expect by this December, we may have the system will be full operational with the part of the forecast. And this one was done with the collaboration and the support from GRC. And for information, this system have been initially tested in Eastern Africa, where we know that's the IGAD Drought Watch, and then ACMAD in collaboration with ICPAC again and the GRC, we upscale this program and this product to the entire continent, and now we have also integrated this forecast part, and which we do hope that to be finalized and they be operational by December, and it's accessible also online. Next, please. This for another tool we have doing for the onset monitoring and the dry spell. That's mainly for the agriculture purpose, where we show the different, that according to the different stations, we can categorize the early onset or late onset, and this one is online to support the National Met Service or other stakeholders to look for their to plan their activities. And this product is is updated 2 weeks. That means every 2 weeks. So that means by month we have 2 products, and they also give you the profile so they can combine with the analog years, so they can see the other indicators like the consecutive dry spell and so on. And all those tools are online. Next, please. So this is for the meningitis, and this one we just an example for what's happened with in the last year in April, where we have issue consecutive vigilance map, where in eastern Niger, northern Mali, and the western Chad, and much part of Chad was some signal, red signal, and the right map is where we see the record from from WHO, where there was engaged the campaign, the vaccination campaign due to the meningitis. The meningitis cases was recorded, and this one also. This one was generated due to the S2S data from WMO Global Center, and now we do hope that to be improved data, this product within the WISER project called PASS, in collaboration with University of Reading and also UK Met Office. Next, please. So in interaction of humanitarian, we just this example for the 2 products, one under the World Meteorological mechanism with the UNHCR, where ACMAD is responsible to produce 7 days outlook over the Africa with a mainly hazard, hot, high temperature, winds, and extreme precipitation. And also we do submit, and also it's under WMO coordination. The second one is the impact based forecast completed with OCHA, and this one is it's the pilot product, because we are working with the OCHA for West and Central Africa, based in Dakar, and our idea is just to expand up to the entire Africa, and we are also starting to collaborate with the OCHA Eastern and Southern Africa, the office of Nairobi, to do the same, and then to do either for the seasonal forecast, either the long term, and also, by the way, even for the short range. So here the idea behind is just ACMAD is providing the rainfall, the extreme rainfall precipitation forecast, and then with the OCHA is to overlay with the vulnerabilities, exposure, and also the impact of the population being affected by in case of this heavy precipitation, you can cause flash flood. Next slide, please. So in terms of capacity building, we produce some training material in the verification and seasonal forecast, but also we have an on-job training and secondment, which has been organized at ACMAD on the benefit of National Med Services, where the junior staff from Med Services come to ACMAD, stay like 2 to 3 months or 4 months. While the secondment, they are the advanced forecaster, then we come to ACMAD and they so develop some guidance or test beds in that one. And we had also the collaboration with the institute, the mathematics science for the Africa Institute for Mathematical Science, where we got some internship, and we got like 11 internship, and which has come to Africa ACMAD to spend up to 4 months. And those are the topics they were developed. Next, please. So those are some testimonially given by the beneficiaries. Next, please. So in terms of the distribution at ACMAD, we really consider the, what they call it, the regional or geographical balance. So we have a huge demand, but we are trying to do our best according to facilities to do regional balance. But now there is some countries now starting to use their funds or funds from the project to come. For instance, now we have like 4 people from Comoros, which is paid by the is not ACMAD sponsored, but is sponsored by UNDP through GF project, and then they have paid their allowance ticket. So then ACMAD is just providing training. So we see with this approach, maybe we may train more people as some countries have some facilities or project, and that's what our Director General is emphasizing, to talk to the partners that we can enhance this on-job training, because we have a standard that's this the one way to really deliver or to transfer technology and the knowledge. Next, please. Yes, we do also capacity building user engagement session. This one is organized during different ARCOF or ARCOF, where we with some the stakeholders would understand the interpretation of the forecasts, and also engage them to see how can we have a strong feedback mechanism in order to innovate some more user and interaction. Next, please. Yes, as I said, we do also organize what we call the briefing, and this one is the ad hoc briefing when we do expect the extreme event. And in this regard, for the briefing, in collaboration with ANASIM of Dakar, which is the Regional Specialized Meteorological Center for West Africa, and Meteo France, ACMAD, from every year from June to October, we organize the weekly briefing, what we call MISWA briefing. And now in that period from since last year, Meteo France have starting to process the sustainability, where ACMAD and the ANASIM will take over or the whole process to conduct this briefing over the West Africa, but also we have it starting to expand up to Central Africa. Next, please. Yeah, this is what I said, the mechanism for ACOF, which has been initiated in 2022, and so far we have organized like 18. The last one was the 18. So then you can see with this one, it was being conducted the monthly online, but also quarterly physically. This was supported by the CLIMSA project. And all regional climate centers are involving, and the product I showed you, it's the one of the result of these ACOFs. Next, please. So this is what we are producing and the co-production. And this ACOF, we are mainly invite also the stakeholders and the users like IFRC, OCHA, the river basin. So then we come up with the overview, and even African Union. So, and the PAFO as well, PAFO, which is the Pan-African Federation of Farmers, and also to enhance our co-production. And we really happy to see this involvement of these stakeholders. Next, please. So in terms of also for activity for ACMAD is to support also the regional climate centers where we are contributing for any generation for seasonal forecast, especially for Central Africa and West Africa. West Africa, we are doing a partnership with agreement, while ACMAD is more coordinating the provision of rainfall forecast, and the agreement concentrating on the hydrological and the agrometeorological focus, and we come up with one combined bulletin, which was also present to the stakeholders during the PRESAS or PRESA-GG. We do the same also with in collaboration with CIPC, Africa, Central Africa, to do this, what they call PRESAC, which is the seasonal forecast for Central Africa countries. Next. So this is some of the success when we are animate ACMAD of support countries to establish the national user interface platform. That's the example for Cameroon, where we support them to establish the 3 UIPs user interface platform for agriculture, DRR, and health, and also conducted in the National Outlook Forum. Next, please. So this is the policy awareness where ACMAD is, as in the introduction, ACMAD is have the status as observer for UNCCC, and is contributing for to produce technical note of the Africa state of climate, and also ACMAD participating in the high-level statement at COPs, and also high-level policy dialogue meetings to support the formulation of a resolution, and also to give climate evidence or scientific evidence for the negotiators. Next, please. So I think this is my last slide. It's about the lesson learned. First of all, is to promote data exchange and the peer-to-peer learning. And I think that with this SEWA, we may achieve more and continue for what we have done. And also the strength capacity development. And also we do expect in this one also to sustain this ACOF mechanism, because it's one of the mechanisms which bring the RCC together. And there was also the project to generate the white paper on long-range seasonal forecasts by document all the process, the methodology, the weakness, the strength for all the process they are using in each regional climate centers. Lastly, is just to support national in early warning system and see how can we assist the countries to establish an operation robust at the national level in early warning. I think I'm too long. Thank you so much. I submit.
Thank you so much. No, that was a really nice overview, and don't worry, it was not too long. I have a question actually. When you said at the beginning, you said you issue advisories and warnings. So how does it look like? How do you send those advisories and warnings out?
Yes, for advisories, Well, in terms of advisory, we mainly do advisories, but because the warning, that's where we communicate with national meteorologists to advise them to do warning, because ACMAD, we are not mandated to do warning at national level. For us, what we are doing is just mainly advisories, so to help at national level to do warnings, so they can set the warnings. So our role is just to do. We are not mandated to do warning, we are mandated to do advisories, and they also support them to give them the evidence, because during the ad hoc briefing, that's where we give all diagnostics. So said, look how the weather is, the pattern, and then we say on our view, we would advise you, as we have to keep monitoring this situation and issue warning if necessary. That's why even in our product, you see there is the categories, but always we just remit it on orange. It's there to send red signals.
Okay, I see.
We give only guidance and technical notes. All of product from global centers and our own products are in the technical notes to send to the National Met Service within the advisory.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Are there any other questions? Oh, there's one by Janet.
Yes, thank you, Caroline, and especially Godefroid for this nice overview. You do quite a lot, and I was wondering, I'm not sure if this is more to you, Caroline, or more to Godefroid, the question. The RCCs can be part of the consortium, but is this also counting for ACMAD? Because I see a lot of experience at ACMAD, and how could we best bring in this regional, SEWA calls? Is there already an idea about that?
Yes, so ACMAD will have a special role. They will not be, in that sense, part of a regional pilot project. They are like, they keep all the regions together and they have like a central coordinating role. And so in practice, I think, so the plans for now, we don't have specific plans, but they might be in the Central African grant included. But this is just an idea. I can't like promise that it will be like that. But they will be included very likely in one of the grants. But they will then have also a special role in that regard. And they will like more, they won't be focused on the regional scale too much, because this will then, for instance, if it would be Central Africa, it would be more CAPC, but they will bring all the regions together and also coordinate within the regions and see, and they are supposed to also look what's going on in the regions and then connect if there are any connections. And of course, they will also have a role with EUMETSAT, and they are a strong partner of the African Union Commission. And they also can bring all of those implementing partners basically together on the continental level. And yeah, but in practice, this will probably be something like that.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, because I also can imagine that what works in one region maybe does not apply directly to another region, but may be of benefit, of course, for the others also. So, yeah.
Yes, definitely. Sorry, Leon, go ahead.
Yeah, in terms of involving ACMAD in the pilot project, is to give some opportunity to facilitate the sharing of best practices between regions, and then also to give the opportunity for African ownership. And we can also think about scale up over for another region from if there is a pilot project in one region, we can from ACMAD to install and facilitate to another region to do the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Leon. Are there any other questions? If not, you can still think about it. I can, because I wanted to also inform you that the recordings as well as the presentation will be available on the webpage where you registered. And also we'll have the next session with IOC tomorrow, and we'll have another one with SADC Climate Center. So if you're interested in those two, please also go to the same webpage and you can register for those ones as well. If you're not available, it's no problem at all. We record all of those sessions and you can watch them later on. If there are no other questions, I would really like to thank Godfrey in the first, but also Leon for joining in from Zambia. It's really appreciated that you took the time and you were available to do this info session.
Thank you.
And thanks everyone.
Thank you, Caroline.
Have a nice afternoon, evening.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye.